Today is day 18 of Theology BookMAS, and today's book is something I can't show you. Can't show you it, not in person at least. I'll probably put a picture of it right here. But today's book is Church Planter by Darren Patrick. This book, weirdly enough, I don't know why exactly, I never got a physical copy of it, but I've always had it on Kindle, and I've reread it multiple times. This is a book that just hit me where I needed to be hit early on in my ministry. I grew up in Seattle, Washington, if you know, like the Christian scene in Seattle, especially when I was in high school. It was dominated by Mars Hill, by Mark Driscoll, and by the Resurgence, Acts 29, all of that. And as a Baptist, looking on the outside, looking in, I was really impacted by those guys, even in ways that I still am grappling with now. But some of that was bad, you got to be honest, and some of it was good. And a lot of it that was good was because of a guy named Darren Patrick, who wrote this book called Church Planter, which was like the book. If you're going to be a church planter or interested in church planting, I think it is the book that you need to read. Not because it's super practical in how to plant a church, but it deals with a lot of the philosophy and really the man that it takes to plant a church. What is the characteristics of a church planter? And so I read that book, and I felt deeply convicted that at some point in my ministry, that's where God wanted me to be. And I'm sure I am not the only one to feel that way after reading that book. I was feeling that way before, which is why I bought the book. But every so often when ministry isn't going exactly the way that I hoped or envisioned, especially as an early teenager, I go back and I read that book, and I remember that God called me to this at some point in my ministry. And I don't know when exactly it's going to happen at the moment, but I mean, Darren Patrick, I know his life has become what it was, and he passed away last year. But I was so impacted, and I just appreciate what the Lord did through that book. And I don't know what was going on behind the scenes, but I just appreciate the rich theology, the practical application of it in that book to be like, this is what it looks like to plant a church. And so today's book is that one, because it shaped a lot of my trajectory of ministry, what I would want to do, and honestly, the idea of planting a real church. And I know that sounds maybe a little bit prideful in calling it a real church, but so many churches today are not real. So many of the pastors in those pulpits are not real. And I think that we need a real shift in 2020 with coronavirus to be real pastors with real churches who deal with real things. And a lot of that actually came out of Church Planter for me. So that's today's book. Tomorrow I'll be back with another one. I think my pizza's ready.